Yeah, I know who it is, though. The man of speed. Y'all tuned in with royalty right now. The Prince of Milwaukee. Right here on 7 Figure Dream Radio. J Prince, what up?
The 7 Figure Dream Radio.
Yeah, what's poppin'? It's BJ Biggs. I'm with 7 Figure Dreams Radio.
7 Figure Dream Radio.
What it do? It's your boy DJ Trill Will. And right now, you're listening to 7 Figure Dreams Radio with my homeboy J Prince, the Prince of Milwaukee. Turn it up.
The 7 Figure Dream Radio.
This the homie Bizzle McLeod, and you tuned in to 7 Figure Dream Radio.
The 7 Figure Dream Radio.
Yo, what's poppin'? It's the boy St. Blues, Auto War 414, Avenue Tunes and all that. You are now tuned in to 7 Figure Dream Radio with the homie J Prince, the Prince of Milwaukee.
You are now tuned in live to 7 Figure Dream Radio. Your host, J Prince, Prince of Milwaukee.
Prince of Milwaukee. I'm on the mission to get it. Putting on for my city. I rise, grind, shine. And it's pretty obvious.
The 7 Figure Dream Radio.
I'm on the mission to get it. I'm on the big and better things. Putting on for my city to beat the family and my team. I rise, grind, and shine. Get up and get it every day. So it's pretty obvious to see I'm on my way. You see I'm chasing 7 figure dreams. I got 7 figure dreams. I'm having 7 figure dreams. I'm chasing
The 7 Figure Dream Radio.
Yeah. What's poppin', everybody? It's your homeboy J Prince, the Prince of Milwaukee. You're now tuned into 7 Figure Dream Radio. We doing something a little different tonight. So I'm live on Facebook right now as well. Via my Facebook, and for those of y'all who are listening, we're gonna do something a little different tonight. Tonight is called Light the Fire sessions. If you've been paying attention to my posts all day, it's not gonna be a normal radio session. You know what I'm saying? It's more blog talk tonight. But it's gonna be around lighting the fire, like I said. All positive, so don't worry. It's all positive. I'm gonna be a little abrasive in some of the things that I say, but this is all positive. Trust me, this is all positive. What I mean by light the fire is that recently here in 2017 and the ending of 2016, I really engulfed myself in being an entrepreneur and being self-employed. Over the last few months, over the last 6 months, I've really been diving into the world of entrepreneurship, and realizing the importance, the power of it, the lifestyle that can be created from it, the opportunities of entrepreneurship. So I'm live on Facebook Live right now as well, too. So if you hear me on Side Conversation, if you're listening through the website, if you hear me on Side Conversation, I'm probably answering questions from the Facebook Live viewers. Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook Live. I got my homie Jarvis Reed, who's on Facebook Live with me, and he's going to be chiming in and out on things that I have to say and putting in his input. He's a fellow entrepreneur, brother. Me and him work on a lot of things together. We bounce ideas off of each other, and we learn a lot from each other. So he's going to be tuning in. Now, Jarvis himself, like I said, great entrepreneur, been doing it for a while, kind of woke me up to, what entrepreneurship is. And I'm, so glad that I started. So first and foremost, and if you're watching on Facebook Live, Mecca, I did it for you. So I'm actually wearing a product of me being an entrepreneur right now. This is one of the shirts that I created. Grab your pens and paper. I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes. We got a lot to talk about. I got, I've been making notes over the past few days and some things that I've been gathering over the past few months. I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes. Grab your pens, grab your paper, get in a nice quiet area where you can focus, no distractions. Because I'm about to light the fire. So go ahead, take a couple minutes. What's up to everybody on Facebook Live? Thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, this is not a personal Facebook session. It would be greatly appreciated if all personal comments, Personal comments can be kept off of the Facebook. Although I will answer questions. I will answer questions regarding to the topics at hand tonight. You know what I'm saying? So definitely please keep all personal, personal comments to yourself. Tonight has an agenda. I have a strict agenda for tonight. Okay. So hope y'all grab your pens, grab your paper. So I'm not gonna give exact details to what we can do with entrepreneurship, or what I'm saying. I'm basically here to, like, my job tonight here, and over the next few weeks I'm gonna be dropping different episodes. What I'm saying, and publishing them on YouTube and everything like that. And then over the next couple of months, I'm actually going to be putting together my own entrepreneurial classes in which you can pay and get premium content on how to start up your, exactly what to do, and how, give you the keys to one of the most lucrative entrepreneurship opportunities there is. So I did a little digging around, over the past couple of months, wrote down, took notes. I'm a firm believer in taking notes, diving into information. So we're going to just go off and start off what entrepreneurship is. It's defined as the process of designing, launching, and running a new business, which typically begins as a small business, such as a startup company offering a product, process, or service for sale or hire. And pretty much this is entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship opportunities is something that you can say is yours. It's an opportunity to create a business for yourself that you can say is yours. And I'll stress some more of this as we move along, but no longer, saying just briefly, no longer having to live the 9-to-5 lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's my disclaimer. I still work a 9-to-5 to this day. Not gonna lie. Everything that I'm gonna say is real, and I'm not going to promise anybody, oh yeah, you can make $1 million if you do this. No, not gonna do that by any means. I'm gonna keep it real. I still have to work a 9-to-5, but my journey as an entrepreneur has, I can see the potential in it. I have started to reap the benefits of being an entrepreneur. So like I said, don't take this as me promising that you can, promising anything, because entrepreneurship is something that you will get out of it what you put into it. So if you put your all into it, you're going to get a lot out of it. If you treat this as just a little small hobby or something like that, you may get a little bit, but you won't be able to maximize the benefits and opportunities from it. So this is why I said, get in a nice quiet area tonight, during this session. Get in a nice quiet area. Feel free to answer if you listen on Facebook Live, or if you own the Spreaker app. Definitely feel free to ask questions. And all of this, I'm not going to say I know everything. Okay. This is also not a promise that I know everything. Everything that you're going to hear tonight is based off of my experiences and everything that I've learned in the time that I have become an entrepreneur and have been doing it. So like I said, I'm not a millionaire by any means. My goal is to be one, yes. And I'm not going to promise that you're going to be a millionaire, but it's my duty to use my voice to the people to light that fire. Okay. So reasons why it's been pretty much beneficial to become an entrepreneur. Let's be real. We go through economic depressions. Check the studies, check the Forbes, check the stock markets. Everything is so unstable, right? You can walk into a job today, work your ass off. Yes, and I'm gonna be abrasive. It's gonna be abrasive language. But you can walk into a 9-to-5 today, work your ass off, and tomorrow walk in and be handed your walking papers. And then if you're in a state like Wisconsin, where I'm at, where it's an employment at will, you can be fired and be doing an excellent job at what you do. If they just overall decide, hey, we don't want to employ you anymore, they have the right, and there's nothing you can really do about it. Despite what they say about unemployment and all of that, there's really nothing you can do about it. Read the books. Trust me. You know, having to abide by a 9 to 5 work schedule. I have a 9:30 to 6:30 work schedule, and I'm gonna be honest. While I'm grateful I have a job, I've learned over the past few years that I'm tired of working just a normal job. I'm tired of having to abide by a strict work schedule. You know, I've come to the realization that I want to be able to have something that I can build where I can work when I want to. Work when I want to, automate things to work while I'm not working, and be able to create free time. You know what I'm saying? Freedom to travel, freedom to spend time with your family, freedom to relax. That's you know what I'm saying, that's one of the benefits that you will get out of entrepreneurship. Now, also, entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur, it's not easy. It's not. There's people out here that make it look easy, but any real entrepreneur will tell you that entrepreneurship is nothing easy. Nothing about it is easy whatsoever. And honestly, it may not be for everybody, but it's something that everybody can at least attempt. Being an entrepreneur requires some skill, a bunch of skills and talent. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a sense of creativity. You have to have an open mind, drive and motivation. Drive and motivation is a big one. You know what I'm saying? To become a fearless entrepreneur, there's some truths that we have to, embrace. Okay. There's 6 of them. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this is off of, my own research when I started. This is a notebook that I started creating when, when I, for those of y'all watching on Facebook Live, this is a notebook that I created while, in my last 8-month journey of taking notes, websites, things like that. So in my first set of notes here, I gathered 6 truths to becoming a fearless entrepreneur. Number 1, realize that the journey is the best part of it. It's very, very easy to look at the mountain before you climb it and give up. Meaning that don't look at all the work that you're going to have to put into to get started and get discouraged. Because I guarantee you, once you get started and go into a full-fledged and you really, really passionate about it, you're not going to stop. You're not going to stop. It's going to become addictive. That drive, that adrenaline, it's going to kick in. You're not going to want to stop. But you can't stop before you even start. You gotta dive into it. Gotta dive into it. Don't get discouraged. Okay. Number 2, you gotta cherish what drives you in the inside. And some of the things that I do, if you're looking on Facebook Live right now, I'm just restructured my home office again. But one thing that you can really do, and you can even do this at your workplace, and this is something I have a picture, at my workplace, I have a picture of my son, hanging up at my desk. And I'm thinking like, okay, yes, I'm here. And right now, this is my main source of income, but he is my motivation to not be here and create something where I can provide myself freedom, not being confined to a 9 to 5 and to that desk every single day, 5 to 6 days a week, not being confined to that desk, and building something to create the freedom to spend with him, to give him different experiences, to have a father-son connection. And maybe later on down the line, something for him to even take over, to, here, son, here's the torch. This is yours. I built this for you. This is for you. You never have to work a job now. This is yours. This is your job. This is yours. You don't have to work a 9 to 5. That's my goal. That's one of my goals. But you can put up pictures of like your dream home, like what you think your dream home will be. If you look at magazines, newspapers, realty magazines, put up pictures of your dream home, your dream car, places you want to go for vacation. Another picture that I had up is I have a picture of Dubai up my, sometimes as my wallpaper, sometimes as the background to my wallpaper on my phone, rotating wallpaper on the computer. Different places that I want to visit. And that's another source of motivation with me creating an entrepreneurship opportunity and having that freedom, having that income and having that freedom to do pretty much what I want to. That's what I want to do. That's my goal. That's going to drive me. Okay, I really need to step my game up in order to get to Dubai. I need to step my game up. I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go Jamaica. I want to go Japan. Whatever. Whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you want to go experience. Put up pictures around, your workspace, or just somewhere where you're around a lot and gravitate that energy, you'll be able to gravitate that energy to yourself. And trust me, it works wonders. 3, realize that you're never rich enough to afford idle time, meaning that we have to stop with the I don't have time excuse to do something. I'll use myself for example. Okay, so I work a full-time job. I'm also an artist. I also do graphic design. I run 7-Figure Dream Radio, and I run the 7-Figure Dream clothing store, and I'm also into affiliate marketing. All of those things have led up to some type of opportunity where I can tie entrepreneurship back into it, or my entrepreneurship qualities back into it. Even if you were working, a student, and you have kids, maybe sacrifice 30 minutes to an hour just reading through entrepreneur blogs, researching something that you're going to need to know about your market or your business or what it is that you're trying to do with, your entrepreneurship opportunity, or how to get started or how to maintain. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely always some time, Number 4, mistakes are your tuition. You have to learn from each one of them. Realize this, just as in life, entrepreneurship and self-employment, you will make mistakes. I've made some. It's just something that we have to face. You will make mistakes, okay? But you can't let the mistakes that you made deter you or discourage you. You have to embrace them and learn from them. Put aside time to reflect on what happened, why that mistake occurred, so that you can prevent from happening again. I've made a couple mistakes in my journey when I started the radio station. I made a couple mistakes, but I quickly learned how to counter those mistakes for the next time. The same thing with my clothing line. I dived right in and I made mistakes, and you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make a mistake every day. Nobody's perfect. You're gonna make mistakes, but don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are your tuition. Okay. Embrace it. Take time to figure out why they happened, and figure out how you can not do it again. Master that mistake. Learn from it. Build on it. Number 5, learn to adapt or perish. Okay. Entrepreneurship is extremely competitive and always changing. Okay. You have to have an adapt or die attitude. Okay. One thing that I do, and I've seen, and when I talk to other entrepreneurs, is that do not be afraid to monitor your competitors of your market. So, for instance, with 7-Figure Dream clothing right now, okay, I pretty much do t-shirts. So, and hence, if you're on Facebook Live, this is one of the designs that's on 7figuredreamradio.com. do not be afraid to study your competition. Do not be afraid to monitor your market. Like I said, the world of entrepreneurship is constantly changing. Okay, constantly changing, and it's extremely competitive, and it will always be competitive. There's a million people that want to do or that are doing what you are doing, but you have to monitor your competition and just kind of figure out, learn, monitor, see see what mistakes they're making, or see what's working for them, and find a way that you can twist it around and capitalize off of it. Don't copycat it, but find a way that you can manipulate it for yourself and use it and apply it and stick to it. Because trust me, somebody is watching you. Just like I watch other people in the t-shirt market, I'm pretty sure there's people watching me and what I do. And that's fine. That's cool. You don't ever become complacent. Ever. Like when you get a process, that's cool. But I've had to change, like for example, with my online store, I've had to change processes a couple different times. I've had to change my layouts a couple different times, but now I'm a person where I get bored with a certain style of thing, after a certain amount of time anyway. So it gets changed, but that's good. Change is good. Never be complacent. Always, always, always be on your toes. Always. Like I said, this is an extremely competitive. There's a million people that are doing or trying to do what you are doing or trying to do. And they're watching you too. Don't be afraid to look at other people. Don't be afraid to ask other entrepreneurs. Now, you may meet some people along the way that, you ask them questions and you might not be received too good, So, but if you surround yourself with people that have the same vision as you, that are really good, genuine people, those are the people that you need to stick around with. My home, I don't know if he's still watching on Facebook Live, but I got my homie Jarvis Reed. He's a fellow entrepreneur brother of mine, fellow musician. We bounce ideas off of each other almost every day. We talk almost every day. Now, while we're not on, he has his brand and I have my brand, but we are like-minded people, from the same type of economic conditions. We come from the same city. We both come from Milwaukee. We both we're not wealthy yet, but we came up from not so wealthy upcomings. We're both musicians, but now we're both businessmen, and we bounce to each other. We do business with each other. We dish business to each other. He gets overloaded with work. He knows that, he does graphics, logos, flyers, all of that. If he gets all overloaded with work, hey, listen, I'm getting overloaded with work. You want to help me out? We kind of, do this and that. Yeah, sure. We do that a lot. You have to surround yourself with the right people. That's going to be a very, very key factor. And number six, starting your entrepreneurial opportunity or business, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to refer to it as your business because that's the mindset that I want you to create for yourself, is that this is going to be your business, your operation. Okay. Starting your business is the hardest part. Okay. But as I stated earlier, you never want to abandon your dream because of excuses or difficulties. Remember what I said. This is not easy, and it's never going to be easy. It's not going to be easy until you get into it, you learn, certain things, and you're able to master them. And even then, like I said, things are everlasting, ever changing. So you always have to be learning something. So it's always going to be difficult. Okay, difficult as in learning processes, learning how to market, learning how to, learning, social skills, learning just about every concept that it's going to take to run your business. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. Trust me. I go on social media and I promote my brand. I promote Seven Figure Dream Radio. I promote Seven Figure Dream Clothing. I promote my Seven Figure Dream graphics. And behind, to the people, it looks like, oh, he's just doing this so effortlessly. In the background, I'm like, holy shit, holy fuck. This is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. And it is. It's going to be a lot of work, especially starting off. Especially starting off. But even after that, you have to remain consistent. If you ever let, this is a game that if you ever let your foot off the gas pedal, somebody will rear in you, and that's it. They taking you out the game. This is opportunity where it's good if you're ready to consistently learn, consistently be moving. Don't become complacent. Don't rush your success, okay? Don't hop in. Now, I want you to do this. This is going to sound kind of funny, so I'm going to make sure I word this correctly, okay? I don't want you to rush your success, right? Meaning that I don't want you to come in and expect, oh, my first month, boom, I'm going to make $100,000. Now, is it possible? Yeah. It's very, very possible. Very, very possible. But one key thing is that realize that it's also possible that you won't make $100,000 in a month. It can go either way, okay? It's nice to have a goal. Depending now, $100,000 a month, is it realistic? Depends on what you're doing. Realistic for me? Probably not. Probably not. I'm just selling t-shirts. Selling t-shirts and graphics. And other services here and there. Advertising, live shows. $100,000 a month, for me right now at the level that I'm at, not realistic. Can I make $1,000 to $3,000, maybe $5,000 a month? Very possible. So don't rush your success. I want you to come in and set realistic goals for yourself. Start off small. Start off with small goals. All right. Write down your short-term goals, your small goals, and then write down what you want to do overall, your big-term goals, where you eventually want to go, and gradually build up to those. If you come in, let's say if you follow me and you start a t-shirt business, right? You're creating t-shirts, and you come in and say, yeah, I want to make $100,000 a month. Realistically, I'm going to laugh at you. Now, like I said, it's possible, but not realistic. Okay. So when I started, my t-shirts sell for $23 a pop. Okay. And after all of the, I get a profit after paying, for them to get made and everything like that. So no, I don't get that whole $23. I have to pay for the shirt and all of that, pay for shipping and all of that, right? So my goal, I started this April 24th. Is when I started my clothing line. April 24, 2017 is when I started my clothing line. I put out my first couple of designs. I went heavy, bought Facebook advertisement, looked into Google advertisement, placed ads on Amazon, Craigslist, eBay, Wish, things like that. You know what I'm saying? I put stuff all over the place. My goal was just to see what I did, what I was going to make in the 2 weeks. I didn't have a specific number. Say, okay, I'm going to see where I'm at 2 weeks from now. And then I make my first goal. So within the first 2 weeks, honestly, I made almost about $300 in my first 2 weeks off of $23 t-shirts. Just off of t-shirts alone. So I'm like, holy shit. I mean, it was about $300. Like I said, after me, paying for the, the shirts to get made and the shipping and everything like that, and the background, everything behind the scenes. I'd say probably about $280 in 2 weeks, just off of t-shirts. And I said, okay. I mean, it's not, of course, it's not $1,000. $1,000 probably would have been possible. It's not $1,000, but holy shit, 2 weeks, $280 in 2 weeks. Not bad, right? I kept that going. That right there filled fire. I had a sale within a day. I say the day after I started marketing, I had my first 3 sales. Called 3 sales the day after. And that felt good. Now, before I felt good about that, before I even got the money, I was just like, okay, people believe in me. There's people that like what I do and they believe in me. That lit another fire. All right, bet. Let's keep this going. So then, say, okay, let's see if I can repeat that in 2 more weeks. Now, honestly, I didn't. Made about a little under $100. Okay. While it wasn't what I wanted, all right. So you're not always gonna have good weeks. You're not always gonna have good sales days. There's days that I don't get a sale at all. There's weeks I don't get a sale at all. It's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. It's all part of the world of business. But I did not let it. Like I said, I'm not rushing for me to be ultimately successful. It's in my mind that yes, I'm going to be. Now let me ride that back because that's going to confuse you. I have the mindset that yes, I want to be successful, and I'm going to be successful, right? But there's a certain way that you have to maneuver that so that if you have a bad sales day or if you go a week or 2 weeks without any business at all, that you don't stray yourself. So think of this is what I do. So I've had weeks at a time where I didn't have, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time where I didn't have anything sell. And I'm like, okay, but you know what I did during them 3 weeks? I used my other skills. So I went to, on the back burner, I had my graphics design, and I was gaining capital off of that. I was gaining capital off of advertising, doing end jobs here and there. And then I started getting sales again. But during that also, I was looking at my competition. Okay, what is my competition doing right now? What is the market doing right now that I can snag and pretty much manipulate and bring the attention back to my brand to get them back shopping with me, right? So I did. Pretty much the answer was more content. Created that content, boom. So I took a break. What happened was I was pushing out for the first 2 weeks, I was probably pushing out a new design every night, 2-3 designs a night. And I stopped. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to oversaturate the people. I'm going to give them a chance to see, what we got. But I noticed when I start back kicking it up back to back again, everything the results started to come back in. Those sales started to come back in. So inquiries, oh yeah, I see that shirt. I'm gonna get that shirt. That attention started to come back. So good, like I said, don't let a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, a bad year deter you from your goal. You never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. You never know when you're gonna get that. You never know when you're gonna get that surprise popping business. Just gotta keep consistent with it. Key thing is to never give up. Okay, number one thing, to never give up. One of the key ingredients to entrepreneurship. The critical ingredient is getting up off your ass and doing something. So I say that to say this every day. Okay. Here's when we start to get a little abrasive. So if you're sensitive, I'm sorry, I might hurt your feelings a little bit. And if you do this, I'm sorry, you'll thank me later because I'm gonna change your thought process with this. Okay. So, and shout out to who I consider a master entrepreneur, Gary V, and I'll let y'all know who that is in a little bit. But if you're already an entrepreneur, you should know who Gary V is, and if you don't, you need to know. Okay, when you listen to Gary V, he's down to earth. He comes off rough and abrasive, but when he's done talking, you're not going to think of him as an asshole. You're going to think like, damn. Because honestly, I'm a consistently motivated individual. But I watched a couple of his interviews right when I started to really, really dive, and especially when I started to dive into doing the online store. my online store, it woke up another part of my brain. I'm like, fuck. I gotta get, yes, I understand, yes. So I'm a kind of bring that concept in, okay? Like I said, the critical ingredient to starting your own business and entrepreneurship is getting off your ass and doing something to create results. So going back to what I was saying before, we sit on social media all day. And if you're on Facebook Live, comment. We sit on social media all day. And you got and these people, you may not know these people personally, but they're on your friends list or they're public, you're following them, so you see their posts. But they got this poor me syndrome where they post for people to feel sorry for them. So I see a lot of people every day. I'm tired of this job. My life sucks. Poor me. Blah blah blah. Poor me. Poor this. Poor that. I'm so broke. I need money. Things like that. And then you go back and see them post, and like I said, here's where I'm gonna get abrasive. You go back and see them post, and you see them spend money on weed and drugs and unnecessary bullshit. I wonder why. I wonder why you need money. And then the really fucked up part about it is that a lot of these people that do that have whole families that they have to take care of. They got children, nieces, nephews, cousins, uncles, aunties, mothers, fathers, grandfathers that that they probably have to take care of, or that are looking up to them, but they're not doing anything for them to be looked up to. Fucked your head up, right? That's what I'm trying to do. I want to wake y'all up. If you're one of these people, if you're listening to this and you're one of these people, get out of the poor me syndrome. Okay? That's kind of like it's almost like the crab in a bucket syndrome. You got a bunch of people around you complaining, just talking negative, and they want to bring you down. Get out of the poor me situation. Find ways that you can capitalize off something that you possibly know or that you can do or a skill that you have, and find a way to put that to use to a way that you can bring in passive income. I'll get more into that later. Okay, here's a concept. Here's a quote that I made into a shirt. The quote, and it's gonna go over heads, but I'm gonna explain it after. Okay, and I'm gonna give a pause. Like I said, if you're watching on Facebook Live, feel free to comment. Okay. Here's the phrase: one day or day one. Think about it. One day or day one. If you're on Facebook Live, comment what do you think that I mean when I say one day or day one. I'll give a couple minutes. I gotta take a water break anyway. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Let me see if I get some answers on Facebook Live really quick. Or if you're listening to it on the Spreaker app, feel free to hop in the chat. What do you think I mean, or what do you think the concept or the meaning behind one day or day one means? What does that mean when you hear that? We'll see if we get a couple responses. Now, it may go over a lot of people's heads because a lot of people may not think like, oh, well, what the hell is he talking about? That makes no sense. After I explain it, it's going to make perfect sense. All right. So here's what I mean when I say one day or day one. Okay? So put it like this. You got a dream. Okay? Let's say you have a dream. You want to start your own business. You want to be a music artist. You want to whatever it is you want to do. And you keep saying day by day, oh, one day I'm going to do this. One day I'm going to do that. And you just keep saying you're not doing anything about it. But one day I woke up and I was looking up motivational quotes and I seen this. Coincidentally, it was a month before it was what inspired me to go ahead and finally start Seven Figure Dream Radio, which has been in planning phases for about 2.5 years now. You know what I'm saying? Here's what I meant by that. Okay, Rich P, you got kind of the idea. So here's what I mean by one day or day one. Are you going to wake up one day? Are you going to wake up and say, one day, are you going to keep saying, one day I'm going to do this? Or is today going to be day one? December 17, 2016, I woke up. And after 2 years of planning to do Seven Figure Dream Radio, December 17th, 2016, I grabbed my notebook. I got on the internet, researched how to start my own radio show, how to start my own internet radio podcast. And I spent hours on the internet. Cut my phone off, everything. People was mad at me, thought I was ignoring them. I was. Sorry. It paid off. But cut my phone off, sat in a nice quiet area here at my house. And I got my notebook and I started jotting down ideas. I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm going to do it. I'm tired of saying I'm going to do it. I'm tired of just saying I'm going to do it. I'm now going to go ahead and say I did it. And in a month from now, when I launch this show, I'm going to be able to say I did it. It's done. Not that I'm going to do that. Or next year I'll do that, or I'll do it in a couple of months. I told myself December 17th of 2016 that in a month, I'm going to be able to finally say today is day one. I said to myself, I'm going to use the last remaining days of 2016 in research and do what I need to do to get the platform up and running. I was promoting the show at least 2.5 weeks before I even got on the air. I built up the anticipation. And I told myself, January 5th is going to be day one. Coincidentally, January 5th was my launch date, my very first episode. So I had two episodes of day one. But it all started on December 17th. That was the real day one, where I got tired and said, you know what? This is a new year. I'm going to stop just saying that I'm going to do things, and I'm going to actually do them. Here we are, 6 months later. 6 months later, I just celebrated 6 months on the air, July 5th. July 5th marked my 6th month on the air. And either next week or the week after, I'll be celebrating my 100th episode of Seven Figure Dream Radio. I got tired of saying I'm going to do this one day. And the day that I got tired became day one. So whatever it is that you want to do, apply this to any facet of life. Maybe you don't make your own business. Maybe you have a goal to get in better shape. Go to the gym and work out. Maybe you're someone who wants to lose weight. And you keep telling yourself day after day, I'm going to go get me a gym membership, or I'm going to start eating healthy, or I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But you never do it. And then probably sit there and continue to gain weight. Sorry, but not sorry. That's what's going to happen. You probably continue to sit there withering death, gaining weight, never doing nothing about it to improve your health. Right? So you're gonna keep saying one day I'm gonna go to the gym, get me a gym membership, get me a personal trainer? Or are you gonna wake up tomorrow, say, okay, I gotta do this. This has to happen today. This has to start today. No more excuses. This has to happen. Today is going to be day one. And I'm going to work my ass off. Think about it. Wake up with that mindset every day. One thing that I try to do, and sometimes in human nature it's almost it can seem impossible, but it's not. Another facet of advice is to never go to sleep with a negative attitude, and therefore you probably won't wake up with a negative attitude. And if you do, if you have an attitude towards bedtime, do something or watch something or look at something that will remind you, that will lift your spirits and remind you that a better day is to come, or that will motivate you. Look at a picture of your kids. Look at if you're into fitness, if it's weight loss or whatever you want to do, look at fitness magazines, and build up your motivation. Watch cartoon. Something. Do something that'll lift your spirit. And then reciprocate that when you wake up. Now, sometimes you may be in a rush, and, I could do a little bit better following my own advice, but I do it. And it works. It does work. Definitely follow that. So that's going to be something that helps. We're going to give y'all a small break real quick. Take a little drink of water here. I got some key facts for y'all. A couple key facts, okay? 2015, 3 out of every 10 jobs were held by self-employed entrepreneurs and the workers that they hired. 3 out of 10. Not many. 3 out of 10. That's pretty significant. 30%. 30% of the workforce is self-employed entrepreneurs and the workers that they hire, not the big-time corporations. Okay. Another thing we gotta do, and this is to some of my, I want to say, much more age experienced listeners. Okay. Accept the fact that the digital age is here. Okay. We are now in the digital age. Have been for quite some time now, but I want to say, for as far as I can see, 2011, the digital age is here. And now ever so more in 2017, you're going to have to accept that the digital age is here. It's not going anywhere. Okay? So remember that adapt or die concept that I explained earlier. It's that you're going to have to adapt to the ever-changing, if you want to look into entrepreneurship or self-employment, you have to realize that you got to adapt to how to use social media. You may not like Facebook, or, I'm not, you're on Facebook or whatever, or even if you're listening on the radio, you may not like Facebook. You may not like Twitter. You may not like Instagram. You may not like Snapchat, Pinterest, Tumblr, all the thousands of social media networks that are out there. You may not like them, but the honest to God truth is that they're not going anywhere. The digital age is here, and you have to learn how to accept that. Okay, accept it, adapt, learn how to use it, or get around people that will learn and will teach you how to use it. You have to learn how to use digital. You have to. It's here. It's not going anywhere. As much as you might hate it, as much as it may seem confusing, it's here. Adapt or die. Especially in the world of entrepreneurship, not even in just entrepreneurship, but in the world of business in general. Whatever you do, a lot of things now are pretty much revolved around the digital age. There are restaurants, there are McDonald's now that you go to. They don't have cashiers anymore. They have kiosks that you order from, and they just have people in the back cooking. Pretty soon, that's probably going to be eliminated. We never know when. There are certain places in the United States and across the world that a lot of the fast food chain, your favorite fast food places, they don't have cashiers anymore. They're eliminating those jobs. The digital age is taking over. another reason why it's good to be another reason why it's going to be good to become an entrepreneur. Okay. Got a couple notes. I still got some notes for y'all. Still got a lot of time left. I'm gonna give y'all some game. I don't know if my homie Jarvis is still watching. Here's some. I'll start off with this one. Here's some reasons that entrepreneurship is important to individuals and to the economy. Okay. Number one, with the growth of entrepreneurs, statistics show that 500,000 small enterprises are established each year. 500,000. Okay. Now, most of them don't last. It's been said that most of them don't last for past year 2 or past year 5. Okay. It all depends. Don't let that scare you, because there's also a good amount that have started out as entrepreneurs and that have grown to be bigger companies. Okay. But just think about that, which leads into number 2. Entrepreneurship creates job opportunity. Okay. Entrepreneurship contributes a big share of new jobs each year. It helps to provide a lot of entry-level jobs for training and gives experience to a lot of unskilled workers. So I could possibly, and once I will get to a point where I can, pay people and pretty much me not have to do a lot of the work anymore. But who knows? I could possibly, somebody who may not have any work experience at all, I can hire them, train them, on how to do certain things in my business. And think about it. I can train them and they can continue to work for me, or they can work for me, take what they've learned from me and my business, turn around and create their own. Create their own opportunities. They don't have to work for someone anymore. They're working for themselves. And it's an everlasting cycle. And this is something, when you create your own opportunity, when you create your own business, you can't get fired. You can't get fired. It's your business. You call the shots. You can't get fired. There's some work schedules that you have to follow. This is your shit. This is your business. You run this. This is your shit. So think about that. It's an everlasting circle. You could create a company, a small company, and maybe hire like 5 or 6 people and delegate a skill to each one of those employees so that you can do other things to enhance the business, bring more income in, make more services available. But then think about it. You can pretty much hire who you want to. It's your operation. You call the shots. And you can provide opportunity to other people for them to reciprocate and do the same exact thing. Even if they don't do the same thing that they work for you for, they probably will be able to take what they've learned from you and your training, turn it around, and if they're smart enough and got the drive enough, they will turn around and turn it into their own opportunity. Me personally, I've never worked under somebody that's been in radio, that had a radio station, and I've never worked for anybody that had a t-shirt company. Those were things that I started to do on my own. But I had people around me. I didn't work for them, but I had people around me that were doing these things as well, and I learned from them. And then, like I said, I took that information, absorbed it, and now have turned it into 2 different types of opportunities that I can now capitalize on and build a business off of. So that 9:30 to 6:30 job that I said that I started to hate so much, I can get rid of that. My goal is to get rid of that. I got a strong goal. By this time next year, I do not want to be working a full-time job. I want to be doing this full-time. I want to be running my radio show. I want to be doing my music. I want to be traveling and doing my music. I want to run my radio show build that into something bigger. I want to build my clothing line into something bigger. I want to get into marketing and doing things like this, where I can, like my homie said yesterday, I want to be able to book seminars where people are paying to get this type of knowledge, to get this type of motivation. That's my goal. Realistic? Very much so. Very much so. But I just got to stick with it, right? Overall, entrepreneurship generates, like I said, and as of 2015, 3 out of every 10 jobs were made by small business entrepreneurs and the employees that they create and the employees that they hire. So just think now, in 2017, think about how many people that are doing their own thing, whether they're hairstylists, makeup artists, models. Models are entrepreneurs too. I'm going to drop some game for anybody that wants to be a model too. I'm going to drop just a little bit of game. Models are entrepreneurs. Think about how many people in your community or on your social media that you see that are doing things on their, kind of running their own operation. Whether they, a lot of females, they're into makeup. They're makeup artists, and they makeup tutorials and all of that. Hairstylists, modeling for clothing lines, all of that. Think about how many people that you see, that you probably see on your timeline, in all of your social media, that has their, they're starting off their own clothing brand. Think about, those who may have their own restaurant. They're, doing, chasing a music career, chasing an acting career. All of those are opportunities. All of them have somewhat of an entrepreneurial background too. Like I said, it's just something that you have to stick with. Another reason that entrepreneurship is important to individuals in the economy is that it can help develop a community. Okay, now a lot of people are going to look at this and they're going to look at the community and say, hey, that's bullshit. But you have to think in a grand scheme of things. You can't just think small. You got to think in a grand scheme. Is that if you get others involved from your community, either involved in your particular business or do what I'm doing like tonight and light a fire under people to take something that they're good at and create a business. And let's say that influence spreads throughout your whole community, right? That's going to promote a high level of, home ownership, fewer slums. It can stabilize a community. Because a lot of those small organizations will then also give back to the community, find a way to give back to community, and then stabilize it and make it better. It's possible. Now, like I said, you may look at your community right now. Like I said, I'm from Milwaukee, and right now, honestly, Milwaukee is, I'm going to put it out there, I love my city to death, and I love where I come from. I'm going to rep it to the day I die, but right now, Milwaukee seems like hell on earth. There's stuff happening all over the place. Now, is my message alone going to improve anything? Nah, probably not. Realistically, probably not. But I can put the bug out there, and this is putting the bug in the ears. You don't have to do some of the negative stuff that you're out there doing. You can take something that you're legit and legally good at and make a business out of it, and therefore improve your situation, which leads into my next tip. It's important because it can enhance your standard of living. Okay. What that is the concept of increasing the amount of consumption of goods and services in a period by a household. So increasing your standard of living. Let's say you're making a lot more than what you do at your job. What is making more than what you can do at your job going to do for you? It's going to help you pay off bills. It's going to get you, help get you towards that dream car. Remember I told you, hang up your dream car, your dream house, neighborhood, your dream vacations. It's going to help you get towards that. Build, it's going to help you. That's why that's important. Okay. It's basically going to it's going to enhance how you live on a daily basis. Okay. here's some things that you can do, and I'm gonna call them side hustles, legal side hustles. Okay. Number one, and probably one of the most profitable, one of them, it's called drop shipping. Okay. Drop shipping is what I do with my online store and with my 7-Figure Dream clothing line. So I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Okay. With my clothing line, I don't carry any inventory. Okay. What drop shipping is that you use the resources of the internet and other companies out there to pretty much automate a business where it can run behind the scenes while you're at work, while you're sleeping, while you're on vacation. Leverage the power of the internet to run your business for you. Okay. Drop shipping is basically where you can either physically carry a product. For example, one of the first physical products that I had were the fidget spinners and the fidget cubes, and I ordered them in bulk and would sell them, and I would basically resell them. Okay, that's shipping. So that's shipping. Now that's a little bit more work involved in that, but drop shipping. Okay, so I'm gonna put some game out there, and this is probably something that a lot of people have been wondering. Okay, so with 7-Figure Dream clothing, okay, in my clothing line, my t-shirt line, okay, I have created an online store, and there is a company, and there's lots of companies out there that do it. There's a company that the technology can incorporate with my website. So when someone goes to order a shirt, my website sends the information to that company. The company receives it. They get what I have to pay for that shirt. They create the shirt and they ship it on my behalf. I don't have to touch it. So meaning that I can take a vacation, or I can be sitting at work, blah. I can be sitting at work. I can be sitting here running 7-Figure Dream Radio. I can be going out for a walk. I can be out to eat, spending time, friends, family, whatever. And my business has the ability to run itself. Now, there's things that I have to do in the background ever so often. But there's things that majority of it is automated. I don't really have to do a lot with it. It's one of the most lucrative and one of the most profitable ways that you can make money and create a business. I love it. Like I said, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. I'd say it's not easy in the sense as much work that you have to do to maintain it, especially when you're getting started. Because when you're getting started, it's going to be like studying for a final and you haven't paid attention all year. And you trying to cram all of that information in a short amount of time and go for it. Shot in the dark. Well, even if you learn about it, like I said earlier, this is not easy. It can be, but especially starting off is not easy. But and also what I'm going to be doing is that in a couple of months, I'm currently putting together a session. It's going to be a series of videos, informational videos. And if you're watching on Facebook Live right now, it's going to be a series of informational videos that I show people exactly what I've done to create my online store and my online business, step by step. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm going to give you the keys, and I'm going to give you the map. You have to get in the car and drive to that destination. Peep out that metaphor. I'm going to give you the directions, but it's up to you to get in the car, put the gas in the car, and follow that map to that destination. Okay? So, be on the lookout for that. because that's coming. Okay, but you're also still gonna see me do smaller videos, lighting that fire. You're gonna see me doing interviews, lighting that fire. It's gonna be called the Light the Fire series. Okay, and I go more into detail about drop shipping. At a late, in those courses and at a later time. Okay, other side hustles that you can do. Okay, to create a passive income, or to even start reselling things on like eBay, and Craigslist and Amazon. So a good part of the proceeds that I used to start Seven Figure Dream Radio, and when I had to start Seven Figure Dream Clothing, is I looked around the house, seen some things that were in pretty good shape, but I didn't need any more clothes for the most part. Got a lot of them. The clothes, I sold old microphones that I had that were still good and still could be used. Just miscellaneous things. Jewelry that I had laying around that I didn't wear anymore, I wasn't interested in anymore. Things like that. Sold it on eBay. Sold some things on eBay, sold some things on Amazon. I didn't use Craigslist too much. Wanted to automate the business. So I used eBay and Amazon. And got a nice little, and like I said, it wasn't nothing huge, but it definitely helped to have a little bit more money in my pocket and also be able to pay to do what I have to do to run my business in the background. It's not, it's not free. Everything's going to have a price. There's certain things that have monthly fees and all of that, but it helped. And also what a lot of people do is they'll go around to like resale shops, to like Goodwills, thrift shops, and they'll find things that are still in good shape, and they'll go back and put them on eBay and Amazon and resell them for a higher price than what they bought it for, which you get a profit. You can do things like that. One big thing that's come within the last year or two, and it's something that I really seen a lot. I recently was able to and blessed to be able to go to Vegas. And one thing that I learned about out there, especially in big cities, is that if you have a car, that is at least, it can't be any older than 10 years, you can become an Uber or Lyft driver. And let me tell you, when I went out to Vegas a couple weeks ago, and when I was in Milwaukee, when I was living back in Milwaukee, and when Uber first was coming around to Milwaukee, and they especially like at the festivals, they had like Uber sections, pickup sections. Asking a lot of the drivers, they make a good, decent amount of money, especially if you're in a busy city, or if you're by an airport, or during festivals, or if you're by a stadium that, like football season, basketball season, you got fans coming in and out, tourists coming in and out. You can make a lot of money if you have a good enough car that's in good shape. And the good thing about that is you can do it part-time. So you can do it part-time and still work a job. Or if you do it enough, you can make that your full-time job. I was able to meet a few Lyft drivers in Vegas that's all that they do full-time is just drive for Lyft, and they make a damn good living off of it. They can pretty much do it when they want to. They can work when they want to and still be able to make good money. So that's one thing you can do. There's certain agencies that'll let you become a mystery shopper, either physically or on an online store, and they will pay you to, do mystery shopping, peeping out the quality of the store, of the operation, of the employees, what's going down. Clean houses, you can clean houses for a side hustle. That could be it. You can turn that, if you're good at cleaning, you can turn cleaning into a business. you could possibly start your own cleaning business by just starting off cleaning houses and gaining a little capital from that, and then overall reinvesting that capital and turning that into a business. You know, um, YouTube tutorials. A lot of people. So I put it this way. I'm gonna stop right here. I got a few more, but a lot of passive income nowadays is being made by capitalizing and monetizing off of the internet. So for instance, YouTube. Now everybody has their different, their pluses and minuses about YouTube, but there's people that, mechanics, makeup artists, hairstylists, musicians, producers, pretty much anybody that's good at anything that can have a tutorial. They're making videos and putting them on YouTube. And now what you can do is that after a certain amount of views, YouTube will actually start paying you for those views. And for people visiting YouTube, you can start getting paid by teaching people about something that you're good at. And yeah, there's going to be a million of those videos. But after a certain amount of views, you could start getting paid just off of teaching people what you know. Here's something and this next step is another thing that I do is selling technical services. Okay, so what I mean by that is, for those who know me or are familiar with my brand, not only do I run this radio show, okay, not only do I do music, and not only do I have my t-shirt line, but I also do graphic design. So I like to say I'm fairly good at creating flyers, creating album and CD covers, creating business card templates, creating event ticket templates, Snapchat filters. And I've been able to basically take my graphic design expertise and turn that into a side business as well. There's a lot of people that they don't have the time to do it, or they just not good at doing it and they don't want to do it, but they need it for their business or whatever they want to do, and they need it. Turn what I was good at, because I was already doing it for myself with my personal music career and my radio station, and I turned that into a side hustle. So now on top of, people paying me for advertising on my show, on top of capital that I'm gaining off of my t-shirt line, on top of money's made off of music sales and all of that, and shows and concerts and royalties. Now I've found a way to turn something that I'm good at and also like doing, and that I could probably sit and do for hours if I had that much time, into a hustle, into a side hustle. Positive side hustle, legit hustle. Okay. Designing logos. If you're good at anything like that, web design, website design, you could turn that into a business. You could turn that into a business and create passive income. You can go as far as opening a mobile pet grooming service where you travel to people's homes and you groom their pets. If you're good at pet grooming, and pet care, you could turn that into a side hustle. That could become your business. Those who may like cooking. If you like cooking and traveling, start a food truck. Get licensed and everything. Get yourself a truck. Get yourself a truck that you can use to cook food in, and create a food truck. That could be your business. You probably will never have to work again. Who doesn't like to eat? Start a food truck. One of the biggest opportunities, and especially like I say in the digital age, is becoming an affiliate marketer or affiliate marketing. Basically where you're either promoting or selling something on behalf of another company. You're representing that company. You don't work for that company. you're more like a private contractor for that company, and you go out and you could sell services on that behalf. Honestly, just recently, if you looked into the website, you'll see that there's now Amazon ads on my website now. I am now an affiliate an affiliate marketer for Amazon. So if people click those ads and they go and buy things from those ads, I get a percentage of that sale. There's different, a lot of companies out here are, paying massive amounts of money for you representing them. You doing their legwork. So look into that. Find out how to be an extra in movies. Not necessarily shooting for that star role right away. But just gaining capital off being an extra in a movie. Here's one thing, and I'm gonna shoot this to my ladies that may be listening or may be watching. So I remember I told y'all about Gary Vee. Now after this episode tonight, I want y'all to go to YouTube or even on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and I want you to type in Gary Vee. Gary Vee or Gary Vee. If you type him in the search bar, he goes by the name. His full name is Gary Vaynerchuk. I might be slaughtering his last name. I apologize, Gary Vee. I know you might be listening. I don't know if you are. When this gets to you, I apologize in advance. But that'll be dope. But type in Gary Vee in your search bar in any of your social media, on your Google, your YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, right? And you're gonna see this kind of middle-aged white guy. And I want you to watch, especially once you go to his YouTube or Facebook and watch his videos. And I guarantee you, when you watch his videos, you are going to, you're going to wake the fuck up. And you're going to be motivated. You're going to get that fire lit up under you like it lit me and so many other entrepreneurs and small business owners out there in the world that are familiar with him. But here's one thing that he said, especially for females. If you're a pretty decent looking female or a hot female and you're on social media all day, there is no reason why you shouldn't be getting paid. Here's why. Gary Vee woke me up to this. And now that he's explained it and I go back and look on Instagram, it makes sense. He says if you're a hot female, you got some pretty nice assets or whatever, you're a pretty decent looking female, and you're on social media all day, especially Instagram, there is no reason why you can't create passive income for yourself. There are clothing lines out there that'll pay you to wear their brand, to take pictures in their attire and promote them. And because you're going to get that attention because you're a hot chick. They will pay you to represent their brand. They will pay you to model their brand. And when you're doing that, that will open up the opportunity for you to model for possibly even bigger clothing lines or, other brands or other services. You could possibly model that. That will open the door. If you're a pretty hot female, you need to get on that. There's no way and now that I go back on, it makes sense. I see so many, and even females that I know, personally, they're getting paid off Instagram. They're getting paid to do what they do all day. Sit on Instagram, take sexy, provocative pictures, some with clothes on, some, modeling, their bikinis or whatnot. And they're getting paid from these companies to model clothing. And I know one female, and I'm not gonna put her name out there. Per permission and everything, she didn't want me to put her name out there. But I know one female in particular on Instagram that, in 6 months ago, she was a former coworker of mine a few years ago. We worked at an establishment together, and recently, within the last 6 months, no, within the last 8 months, she said, I'm sorry, within the last 8 months, just off of reaching out to clothing, like small clothing lines on Instagram, she was able to quit her job. It got to a point like people were paying her, $50 to $100 per picture to wear their shirt and post it to their Instagram, look, provocative and use their looks to model their brand and gain attention to their brand. They see a hot chick, oh, whose company is that? Where'd you get that from? And they're going to go buy it. And that company is going to keep asking you to do that. It got to a point where she reached a clothing line that started paying her on a regular basis, not even just per picture. But it got to a point where they signed her to a contract. And she's making $5,000 a month just off wearing their clothing and modeling on Instagram. $5,000 a month just to wear someone's clothes and look good on Instagram. $5,000 a month. I know a few females personally, they're making even an extra probably $500 to $1,000 a month. That's passive income. You could turn that into a business. You can turn that into passive income. That right there will turn you into the world of entrepreneurship, which will then open up other opportunities for you to do other things for yourself. So there's a lot of opportunity out there. The key thing is to find things that you're good at. Find something. Here's what I want y'all to do. This is my challenge to people. And my homie Jarvis Reed he's put this challenge out, and I'm gonna put it out to people too. I want anybody that's listening. I want 3 people that may be listening right now or watching me on the Facebook live feed. It can be more than 3 people. Don't matter. But I challenge everybody to, in the next 3 days, find something that you're good at, that you're really, really good at, that you're confident in, that you can do with your eyes closed. There's something that you can do, you're just like godlike at it, or just even mediocrely good. Find something that you're good at, right? Come back to me in 3 days, reach out to me, and I could possibly tell you what you could do to turn that into a business. Now, like I said, my disclaimer, I am not guaranteeing anybody's success. Okay? Entrepreneurship is great, but it has its risk. Okay? I'm not a millionaire yet. Notice I say yet. I'm not a millionaire yet. But I've been able to turn things that I'm good at into extra income. Now, why I haven't, splurged and, got a bunch of different things, I've been in the background paying bills, and setting up things so that I can soon enjoy the fruits of all of this labor. I want y'all to find something that you're good at. Legally, by the way. I want you to find something legally that you're good at. It could be graphic design. It could be designing flyers, CD covers. It could be, you can be a hot chick making money off of it. Post pictures all day of her life. Find something that you're good at, right? And within the next 3 days, I want you to reach out to me either by Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, email, and come to me and give me your idea of hey, I'm good at this. What do you think? What direction do you think I can take with this? And I will do a little research and speak to a couple of my fellow entrepreneur people. And we will find you different ways on how you could possibly turn it into passive income and possibly start your own business. We're not going to tell you what to do. I'm only going to give you the direction. Like I said, I'm going to give you the keys and the map. You have to take those keys, get in the car, fuel the car, and go to your destination and get it done. All I'm going to do is give you the keys to the car, give you the map, and tell you to go. It's up to you if you decide to follow that map. It's up to you if you decide to put gas in that car. It's up to you to even get in that car and start the car up to even take off. Okay? Do that. But what I also want you to do is I want you to do your own side research too. Because like I said, I don't know everything. I'm not a know-it-all. I still consider myself a beginner entrepreneur. Everything that I'm saying today is based off of what I have encountered myself as an entrepreneur. Or as I would say, an upcoming entrepreneur. Now, like I said, I'm not a millionaire, but I've been able to create, money that I didn't make sitting at my job. Some of that money helped me to go on vacation recently. I was able to have extra funds to go on a vacation. I hadn't been on a vacation in 3 years up until 2 weeks ago, up until the end of June. I was able to, me leveraging my skills and talents outside of my job gave me extra income to be able to go out and travel and have a good time and be on vacation. The beauty about that was my business was still running while I was on vacation. So I got sales while I was on vacation. And I didn't have to lift a finger to run my business because everything is automated. So there's money coming in. There was money coming into my account as I was on vacation. That right there felt damn good. Damn good. And I want everybody to be able to experience that. Do you know how good it feels right now for me to sit here in this chair talking to you all wearing something that I've created? My own clothing brand that I can say is mine. That I took the time out to design and be wearing it. And other people wear it. And I can say, damn, that looks good. It feels so much better. So much better. I am rocking my own designer. That feels damn good. I want everybody to be able to feel good about that. Making their own business, creating passive income. And while, my goal with entrepreneurship, I want to be able to not have to work. I want to be able to retire from working a 9 to 5, but then run my own business. That's my goal. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs, they're fine with working a 9 to 5 or their career jobs, and that's perfectly fine. But they're still doing things on the side that they're creating passive income. So, I know a lot of people that have career jobs and they make damn good money off of those career jobs. But a homie of mine, he was able to start a similar business to mine, selling t-shirts. And just recently, I talked to him 2 days ago. We talk pretty much every few months. He travels a lot, with his career. He travels a lot. He's a travel agent. He travels a lot. But he was able to use the money that he leveraged from the internet, from his online businesses, and put that money down on a down payment to buy his first home. Or let me take that back. He purchased the land to then go ahead to proceed to build his own home. And he said while he wasn't broke, obviously. He makes pretty good money doing what he does. But for him to be able to do that with the money that he was able to create with things that he was good at, which is designing t-shirts, it felt so much better being able to put that down payment on that land and put the down payment on the process for him to start building his house, foundation, and all of that. It felt so good to say I did that with money that from my business. Said he went I also at the same time went and dropped the down payment on a nice car with the money that he's been able to stash and make from his business. Not from his career job, but from his business that he created. That lit another fire up under me. Like I said, I just heard from him a couple of days ago. That lit another fire under me. For me to be able to improve my car situation, me getting out of an apartment and put myself into a house, or put myself in a position to buy a house, a nice house that I can call home, that's mine, off of a business that I created, off of stuff that I'm good at, versus not having to go and slave at a 9 to 5 every day. That's got to be an awesome feeling. I want to be able to feel that. I've been able to feel it a little bit when being able to have a little bit of money that I wasn't able to create with my job, and able to go on a small vacation and enjoy myself. That felt fucking amazing, and I want to continue to feel like that. Another reason why entrepreneurship is so important, especially to the economy, is that America and the world, we go through recessions. Last recession was back in 2008, and it's been in studies that America goes through 2 recessions every decade. The last one from us was in 2008. So, we're almost due for another one. Do you want to be a victim of when that recession happens? Now, you starting your own business may slow down a little bit, but you won't lose as much as some of these bigger corporations will. And you may already be financially set up to where if we go through another recession or depression or whatnot, you'll be okay. You won't have to worry about it. You created a business that was working. You've been able to put yourself in a better financial situation to avoid the repercussions of a recession. You'll be almost kind of kicking your feet up, and not having to worry about it as much as other people would. Creating your own business to have a 9 to 5, to get rid of that 9 to 5 job. I've been working. I'll be 30 years old next year. I've had a job ever since I was 13 years old. My very first job was at a corner store in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, on the south side on 27th and Greenfield. For those of y'all who know Milwaukee and know Wisconsin and whatnot, my very first job was I was 13. I was working in a corner store on 27th and Greenfield and Layton, south side. That was my first job. After school from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I was making $150 a week. $150 every Wednesday. That's my first job. I've been working ever since then. The max I probably ever gone unemployed was probably 2 months when I had to have a hernia surgery. And I had to quit the job that I was working and during recovery time back in 2012 and beginning of 2013. But after that, I've never really been unemployed. So I've been working my ass off for years. My thing is, I don't want to keep having to work my ass off to build someone else's dream. Fuck that. I want to build my own dream. I want to live my own dream. I want to build my own American dream. Or not even necessarily American dream, but I want to build and live my own dream. I don't want to continue to build someone else's dream. You know, like I said, do you want to one day do something about your 9 to 5 and do something to put yourself in a position where you don't have to do that anymore? Or are you going to say, okay, today is the day I'm going to do something about this? Entrepreneurship and small business can lead you in that direction. If you're persistent, you stay creative, you stay persistent, you stay with the trends, you learn, you're constantly learning, you never let your foot off the gas. Stay motivated. Entrepreneurship can take you there. Just got to keep persistent with it. Like I said, my goal, and some say it's not realistic. I say it is. My goal is by this time next year, by this time by the end of 2018, I want to not be working for anyone else but myself. Either by this time next year or by the end of 2018. I want to be working solely for myself full time with multiple streams of income. So not just from t-shirts, but growing the clothing line. So, from gaining capital from the clothing line, gaining capital from web design, gaining capital from my radio show and leveraging the powers of my radio show for advertising, hosting shows, entertain, rap shows, hip hop shows, whatever, bar mitzvahs, weddings, whatever, I want to be able to do stuff like that. I want to be able to hold seminars to motivational speaker, where people are paying to get, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I want to be able to fully be able to do all of that and live off of that by this time next year. That's my goal. There's a couple of things that may get in the way, but that's still my goal. But I'm not letting those things that may get in the way stop me or tell me that, no, it's not going to happen. In my head, it's already done. I just have to make sure I follow up with everything to make sure it's done. But in my head, I got the mindset I'm not going to work in 2000. At least in 2019. In 2019, I will not be working. I will be able to fully sustain myself off entrepreneurship and having multiple streams of income based off of my talents. That is my goal. And to create a brand where people are working for me, where I can provide the opportunity for them to reciprocate and do the same thing that I'm doing so that they can do it for themselves. Create their own businesses, create their own companies, have the same goals and live the same, create the same goals for them and for those in their family. And just keep reciprocating that. I want to be able to have, either my clothing line or my radio show or, something involving my music career. And I want to be able to pass it down to my son and my nieces and nephews or my family members when I'm not able to do it anymore. Or when I've had enough of it and I can afford to pass it along because something else is bringing on a capital, and I see, let's say I'm doing something that I see a family member is talented in, but let's say that family member is struggling. Okay, here you go. This is now your business. I've built this business for years, and it's made me a lot of money, and it's let me do a lot of things, and I want to be able to pass that here. This is yours now. I want you to be able to improve your life by doing what I did and run this business. Or build up brands and sell them. Look at 50 Cent and vitamin water. Look at 50 Cent and vitamin water. Created vitamin water, had it for a minute, and sold it for a nice amount of money. Right? Let's look at perhaps one of the biggest deals ever, the Dr. Dre Apple and Beats deal. Became hip hop's first billionaire with the Beats audio, and the deal with Apple. Man, it's set for life off of something that he was passionate with. I mean, he was still making money off of his career, but now with this deal with Apple, it's set for life. Set for life. And that's what I'm trying to get. That's where I'm trying to get, so I can do things that I'm passionate at and live off of it, and not have to work a 9 to 5, and still be able to travel, have the income to travel, have the income to provide for family, provide opportunities for family. Like I said, I want to be able to pass something on to my son that when he gets of age, he does probably not have to work a 9 to 5 job. Or I can afford to put him through college. And when he gets through with college, either, depending on whatever he wants to do, as long as it's positive, he can go to college, and still I can hand him a business that he can make money off of, so that when he gets out of college, he doesn't necessarily feel broke, and he doesn't have to go immediately look for a job. And if he does ever go look for a job, he won't have to he won't have to work as hard, because he has his business that his father has created for him that's already working. He just has to make sure it keeps going. How would you like to make $1 million company that makes $1 million a year profit, $1 million a year, and to get older and pass that on to one of your kids, knowing that they no longer have no financials to worry about? As long as they keep the business going in a good manner, it'll make them $1 million. It'll make them $1 million a year. Let's say you can build up to that, or create a whole business, and you can hire your whole family. You can put yourself in a position where you can hire your whole family. That's what I want to do. I want to hire my family members to work, but to not work. They can either work for me, and they don't have to worry about working a 9 to 5 through someone else. We can keep this business running in the family and capitalize, and basically we're circulating money through the family through multiple streams of income. Sound good, don't it? That's what I'm trying to do. Not there yet, but my mindset is I'm going to be there. It's not an if. I'm going to do that. It's another thing too. Like I said, get yourself in a mindset that you don't want to sit and build someone else's dream. I'd rather slave myself and create my own business, stay up all night, creating my own business, working hard, straining myself, wearing myself out, creating and building my own dream, and being able to call the shots, work when I want to, do what I want to, versus having to wake up every morning at a certain time, go to a job, listen to a nagging boss. Not all bosses are nagging, but listen to a nagging boss, deal with nagging co-workers, customers, disgruntled customers, and just sitting there with this, like, this is all I got after all of this. Like, you get that paycheck, and okay, yeah, it'll pay the bills, but honestly, I look at my paycheck every 2 weeks, and I'm like, I did all of this. I've listened disgruntled customers. I've dealt with annoying bosses and annoying processes and things like that, and this is all I get? This is what I'm worth? No, fuck no. I'm worth more than it. My talents, my abilities, my dedication, my drive is my worth ethic is worth way much more than just this same paycheck that I'm getting every 2 weeks. That's another reason why I decided to create myself yet another stream of income, which is like my online store. to create another stream of income and get paid off for something that I'm good at. But with that, I call the shots. So I go back and look at my back office and my, in my sales reports. I'm like, okay, that looks more like what I'm worth. This is what I'm worth. Probably even more than this, but this is more than my paycheck. This is more than my 2-week paycheck. This is more than what I would have made. This is more than what I made more selling merchandise in 1 month in a month than I would have in 2 months at my job. And that's when I realized entrepreneurship is where it's at, and I need to be working for myself. My talents are worth way much more than just this paycheck every month. So, like I said, the point of this discussion was to wake people up. And a lot of people may not watch it because it's not the daily fight videos, the twerk videos, the bullshit nonsense live feed videos, doing drugs and all of that. I'm not promoting drugs. I'm not promoting violence. I'm not promoting, I'm not promoting bullshit. This is going to be the people that are going to read, that are going to listen to this video all the way through are going to be the people that are tired of slaving a 9-to-5 and that have dreams and goals to do things. And they just need that extra light of motivation to do it. You're an entrepreneur. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for the night. You know what I'm saying? It really felt good to get this out. I'm going to leave y'all with a key pointers. Like I said, 1, stay out of the poor me syndrome. Okay, if you're one of these people on social media every day complaining about how broke you are or how nothing is ever working out for you or this and that, first of all, shut the fuck up, because honestly, nobody cares. Let's just be real. There's not really many people that really give a shit. And there'll be people that are, giving you the pity party, but low key they're probably laughing at your ass after this. And I'm gonna cuss with it. I'm gonna be very abrasive because I really, really, really want to send this strong message. Stay off of social media with the poor me thing. Nobody really gives a shit. And the people that feed into it and comment, honestly, they really don't even give a shit. They may comment and pretend that they give a shit, but low key they don't. And they probably sitting back and laughing at you. And you're probably now the laughing stock at the lunch table tomorrow, or in a private, or in another conversation, or in a group, or anything like that. You're probably not a laughing stock. You just gave them something to talk about. Okay? If you're going to give people something to talk about, make them talk about your successes. Oh, such and such started this business. Such and such is doing this now. He or she is doing great. Not such and such is sleeping with this person, or such and such is complaining about their broken end, and such is doing this, and such is doing that. Give them something to really talk about that's worth talking about. Stay out of the poor me thing. 2, like I said earlier, is today are you going to keep saying one day, or is today going to be day 1? No matter what you do in life, even if it's not starting your own business, let's say you don't take my advice and start your own business and you're perfectly fine with that. Hey, you like it, I love it, right? But the one day or day 1 concept can apply to any single thing that you can do in life. Whether it's education, whether it's about your health, something that maybe you are trying to start a business of your own. Or, something to improve a situation. Maybe something to improve your financial situation, but you don't want to start your own business. But you can find ways to leverage it to make that happen. You're not sitting on Facebook just complaining and talking about it. You're actually taking that action. Is today going to be one day? Are you going to keep saying one day, or is today going to be day one? Think about that. I made that a shirt, and it's available on 7figuredreamradio.com right now. Buy the shirt. If you like the saying, buy the shirt. And now I'm not saying buy the shirt because I get a profit of it. My motivational shirts are to pass a message to the world. Because myself, and the reason I stuck with the motivational thing, everybody was asking me, hey, why don't you create any other types of shirts? You know, why don't you create shirts for, like general themed shirts? The thing about business is that you have to have a niche. Have to have a niche. Business niche. Business plan. Niche. You gotta have a niche. Without a niche, your business is nothing. Okay? You gotta have a niche. Now me, naturally, I'm a motivated person. And I like to motivate people. And I like clothes. So my niche was, how could I motivate people? I can create a t-shirt line that I can motivate people and have them look good at the same time. And when these people are wearing these shirts, not only are they sending a motivational message to themselves, but they're sending motivational messages to anybody that sees them wear that shirt. And then they may stop and ask, oh, hey, where'd you get that shirt from? I like that saying. Hey, I got it from 7 Figure Dream Radio. I got it from 7 Figure Dream Multimedia. Here's the website. Those people have now become my walking billboards. In two ways. One, free advertising. Two, I've now passed the motivational message on to the world. Not only through my music, and not only through my social media quotes, but now I can motivate people to motivate other people while looking good and still being able to capitalize and make a business out of it. I just served it's a whole 360 routine. It all reciprocates. It's a whole 360. I created something that can speak to something else that can speak to the world, motivate somebody, and they buy it. Of course, I make a profit of it. But now they probably just motivate, and that message on that shirt is probably going to help them in their journey and motivate them on whatever it is that they're trying to do. But now they've also passed that motivational message on to other people out there in the world, and will further wake other people up. I've now fulfilled what I really wanted to do, is to motivate the world. But now you can use these people, and I'm sorry to say it like that, it sounds bad, but it's the truth. I can now use these people. They are now walking billboards for my business, while also passing motivational messages on to the world to uplift everybody around them and everybody that sees them wear that shirt. I've now fulfilled two things that I wanted to do with my life. Well, two main things: motivate people and create my own business. See how that plays out? Just like with my radio show. I love music, I love radio, and I love to talk motivational. Hence why we're doing what we're doing here tonight. I'm using my music platform and who I am as an artist, who I am as a radio personality, who I am as a kind of a public figure, and using what I've created to motivate the world and still make a business out of it. Which will then inspire other people to possibly do the same thing or become even greater. That's the overall goal. That's my overall goal. I want to motivate people to be better while still creating businesses of my own. a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful feeling. I've had a couple people, especially since I've started my online store with my t-shirts. Now they want to do it. And knowing me, hell, I'll sit and I'll be doing something else, and then I'll get a notification like that, and I'll totally forget what I'm doing, and I'll go so into, oh yeah, this is what I've been doing, this is what I do, and I'm so excited to give that information. I'll be so excited to give that information. I can totally forget about everything that I've done. That everything I can be sitting writing a song, and somebody hit me up. Hey, I need some advice. All right, about what? I want to start my own podcast, or I want to start a radio show. I want to start a design company. Hell yeah, let's go, let's do it. I got you. Now I'm not gonna tell you exactly what to do, but I can give you like I said, I can give you the keys and I can give you the map. It's up to you to get in the car, put the gas in the car, follow the map to that destination. I'll be so excited about giving that information because I want other people. I want everybody to win. Even people that don't like me, I still want them to win. I want people to win. Because I want nothing but winners around me. I want to be around nothing but winners. Whether they like me or not, I want to be around nothing but winners. I want everybody to win. Everybody. Family, friends, I don't care, even an ex that might have did me dirty. I want everybody to win. I get so excited to explain some of this information if people want to talk about it. I just go rambling and rambling and rambling. So that's what kind of started this segment here tonight. It's that sometimes I get so into telling people the business and discussing the opportunity with them, I just go off. I'm like, okay, well, now let me speak to the world other than just Facebook and Twitter. Let me speak to the world. Let me speak, I have a worldwide following on the show. There's other countries that listen to the show. Let me spread this knowledge worldwide now. Let me now really become another worldwide voice of motivation and information. One day that will reciprocate into a business. And I can fulfill everything that I wanted to do. All of my goals to quit my 9-to-5, retire early, and just work for myself. It's going to happen. Speaking into it existing, it's going to happen. It started. The process has already started. I've already started it. I am not able to quit my job yet, but the process has already started. My mindset is that I'm going to get there. I'm going to retire early. My homie Jarvis called me up the other day. He said, in 5 years, I'm going to be a millionaire. We are going to be millionaires. 5 years. We're going to be millionaires or very close to it. I believe it. Strongly believe it. Have to speak it into existence. That's a big part of it. I'm going to be a millionaire in 5 years. I'll be able to do whatever I want. 5 years time, I'll be able to do whatever I want. I'm going to get there. It's going to happen. But I'm gonna cut this off here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I didn't go over all my plans, all of my notes and everything, and that was on purpose. I kind of went off on tangents to avoid it because I want to do another session like this. And we'll more than likely do it next Wednesday. We'll probably do another one next Wednesday. But I challenge everybody. I give you a week. Let's do this. I give you a week. I want you to find something you're good at. It could be anything. Now, make sure it's legit. It's nothing illegal. I want you to find something that you're good at. Research on how you could turn that into passive income or turn it into a business. Come back to me, let me know, and let's see what you come up with. And at that point, we're going to have a conversation. And I bet you by the end of that conversation, you're going to want to start that business. Like I said, this series is called Light the Fire. And by the end of that conversation, I want to be able to have lit in that fire. I'm going to light the torch. It's going to be up to you to run with it and keep it lit. All right. So I'm going to hop off of here. Like I said, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for everybody that tuned in on Facebook Live. Thank you for everybody that tuned in on, on 7figuredreamradio.com. Thank you for everybody that tuned in on Spreaker, and on our iTunes podcast. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we are back to our regularly scheduled program, R&B Night Live. We'll, still going down tomorrow, 9:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10:00 on the East. Make sure y'all tune in. We're gonna have another Light That Fire Wednesday, next Wednesday, same place, same time. We'll probably do that more over the air, and have have people, I'm gonna try to arrange for some fellow entrepreneurs to call in and give a little insight during the show, many interviews, and kind of add insight on top of what I've already did. So make sure y'all stay tuned. I'll be dropping some other details and things on my social media about things, and motivating everybody. So make sure y'all just stay tuned with me. For those of y'all on Facebook Live, thank y'all for tuning in, getting ready to disconnect. This video will be available for y'all to go back and watch. It's also going to be published on YouTube, so you'll be able to go back and watch it on YouTube as well too. So I will thank y'all for watching. All right, and then if you're listening to me on 7figuredreamradio.com or through the iTunes podcast, or on Spreaker.com, thank y'all for listening. It was a pleasure for me to do it. Glad I was able to do it. I hope I lit some fires. I hope I motivated and inspired a lot of people. This episode will be available for you to go back and listen to. It's going to be made available on YouTube. Going to be made available on, it's going to keep kept available. I'm going to keep it up. So, make sure y'all stay tuned with me. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night, 9:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here, 7 Figure Dream Radio, R&B Night Live, the sexiest internet radio show, period. 3 hours of nonstop R&B music, old school, new school, mainstream, and independent. If you got any requests, need to get those requests before 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:00 on the East. So make sure y'all get those to me. Other than that, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to have another one of these Light the Fire Wednesdays next Wednesday. Same place, same channel. Until then, till tomorrow, I'm out of here. Peace.
You are now tuned in live to 7 Figure Dream Radio. Your host, Jay Prince, the Prince of Milwaukee.